Welcome to another episode of AhHa Moments. My name is Alvin Mehmeti. I'm joined by my business partners Hans Nelson and Kevin Schaefer.
Hello.
Hello.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Is it really episode 9?
9. I counted
We looked.
before this.
Well, that's really a coincidence.
It is, right? Because what are we celebrating today, Kevin?
We are celebrating our 9th birthday as Inspire 11.
9th birthday. That's pretty good.
Does this mean, are you happy, Kevin, or are there gripes today?
I actually said I had no gripes today. It was fun. And Alvin and Hans said, give the people what they want.
Good. So that's your gripe?
I did come up with a gripe.
Okay.
Good. What is
hear it.
bothering you today?
I think most people who know us, who listen to our show, we know we like to move fast. We like to get things done. We like to get places. There's nothing worse than being stuck behind a slow walker.
Oh my gosh. I hate it.
Right? You're on the street, and I'll tell you what's even worse.
Okay.
If you get a pack of slow walkers, you get 4 that take up the whole
Super
walkway,
wide, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's like, can you let me pass here? It's just crazy.
I also don't love when people, when we're getting off a plane, when folks kind of just take forever. And we're on planes a lot, right? And it's like we should have a more systematic way to just get out of planes and get to where we need to go.
I agree.
And the luggage does not help with that either. But I was thinking, I saw this quote by Sam Altman. I know you hate slow walkers. I know.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like
Grinds my gears.
You
finally found one.
That's right.
I have yet to meet a slow-moving person who is very successful. How did you change the world? By moving really slowly.
But carefully.
That's
I
right.
ask my wife all the time. I'm like, how do those people get to where they're going?
I know.
Walk with purpose.
Well, they reduce all the risk. I'm excited about today's episode.
I am
really
too.
excited about today's episode. It's got a very specific title because something special has happened to us and in our lives, and we'd like to think that we move along with elite people. And I think we have. We're excited to introduce you guys to 2 of the most elite people we've met recently, Joyce Mullen and Dee Berger. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Hello. Good to be
To
here.
be here. Thank you.
I have to tell you, Kevin is the popular one, so let's see what we can do. For
Heard
Heard about that,
Kevin's
yeah.
famous, yeah.
Yes. No one has ever said that in my life.
Your mom must be good at creating accounts and setting different things. Joyce and Dee are both incredible leaders that work at a publicly traded company called Insight. We have recently created a wonderful partnership with them, and we got to know them over the years. And I think one of the things we connected on from the beginning is the idea of wanting to do a ton in this world, moving quick and being elite and going above average. And we click right away on that theme. And I thought it'd be lovely for you guys to introduce yourselves to our audience, just about who you are and tell us a little bit about Insight. And then I would love to then dive a little bit deeper around how have you been so successful? How do we make sure we continue to be successful as you run a massive company and we run this tiny little company? But I think there'll be some themes there.
You go first.
Okay, so I'm Dee Berger. I run Insight in North America. I've been at Insight about 3 years, and I think the elite thing hits really, really well because we are constantly transforming business. We're a almost 40-year-old business now, and there's been lots of curves. There's been lots of moves. We're entering a world where there's such a great need for the combined services that Inspire and Insight bring to the market that you will only win by being elite. And so all of today's news is about being elite. We think, Insight is an elite business. All the different things we do, we think y'all are elite, and we think the combination ultimately makes it elite. And I completely agree with the idea is we have a very short window, very, very short window, and there's no time to waste. So everybody be out there, hitting it hard tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Joyce?
Awesome. And I'm Joyce. Thanks very much for having us here. I'm the CEO of Insight. I've been at Insight for about 4.5 years or so. And I spent about 21 years before that at Dell. So I've been in technology a long time. But this is the most excited I've ever been. And it's really because of what Dee was just talking about. So we have been on this quest to basically build out a new kind of partner in the world. A partner that delivers outcomes based on technology, which is some combination of hardware, software, and services. And Insight has a long heritage of doing the hardware and the software part. And thanks to Dee's leadership in the last few years, we've really been cranking up our services capability. But really putting all those things together with the amazing skills, expertise, and elite team that you all have built is really I think, our opportunity in front of us. And I couldn't agree more. We're on the cusp of amazing changes in the world. Those have so far affected kind of a very small percentage of our customers, but it's about to explode, I think, and they'll need our help. And I think the combination of Inspire 11 and Insight is exactly what our customers need.
Well, first of all, you guys are very kind to say the nice words. We equally feel honored for this partnership as we see the exact same opportunity. It's not often that we live through transformations that we're living through today, right? We've gone through, remember, plow changed the world, and the steam engine. This is that, except way bigger for the world and where we're headed. And we'd like to believe that we'd want to be in the driver's seat on what we do with it, as opposed to be the folks who follow whatever others are doing with it. And I think we couldn't have found a better team to combine the forces and set the roadmap and where the world should go, leveraging some of these latest and greatest technology advancements, that as opposed to just following other people's dreams,
Exactly.
right?
That's
Right.
We will get to shape it together. We gave a presentation on AI the other day, and we watched a gentleman give a speech around leadership. He runs Trek, John Burke, and there were some really cool themes in there around how he's managed to keep the business running. I think they said the year 67. That they had.
49 right now.
49.
Trying to get to 100.
Trying to get to 100.
That's correct.
It's not easy to run a Fortune 500 company. It's not easy to stay in that in that ranking, and it's not easy to make sure that it continues to live another 30, 40, 50 years. I was curious for you guys. You've had a long, successful career. Who have you looked up to, or any inspirational leaders or books or things that you look up to as you've gone through different points of career that have shaped your leadership style and your ability to go out there and change the world?
I've got a weird one, so I want you to start, Joyce.
I got a weird one too, but okay, I'll do the weird one too. So before I joined Dell, I was a plant manager at a company called Cummins Engine Company. We make
Great
diesel
guy.
engines,
Yep.
you know, it's very similar to computers. Anyway, and I had the chance, because I opened my mouth one too many times about poor service from the biggest manufacturing plant, which was in Cookeville, Tennessee. And they said, fine, smarty pants, come on over and run this plant. I'd been on a plant tour one time.
Oh, wow.
Eminently qualified for this job. And when I got there in Cookeville, Tennessee, with about 800 UAW people, they said, what are you doing here? Because every other plant manager had started out on the 210-ton press. And obviously, I had not. And I really had no idea what to do. So I went and talked to John Yoder. He had been a plant manager for something like 50 years. He was a man of very few words. But he said, Joyce, here's what you got to do. You got to paint the bathrooms. I said, okay. Got any more? Anything else?
I'm curious.
And he said, go figure it out. So I went back to the plant. I thought, what is this guy telling me? Paint the bathrooms. I walked around the plant, went into the bathrooms on the plant floor, and they were terrible. They were really terrible. Everything was broken, not a good place to be. And all of our employees had to go in there several times a day. I didn't go in the men's room, but it was in the women's room. It was not a good situation.
Yeah.
So I thought, I think I get what he's saying. He's saying you have to do something to make sure every single employee in your team understands that they are important, understands that they add value, understands that they are a very critical component to how you deliver value in any kind of capacity. And so we did that. We figured out how to find some money. We painted the bathrooms, cleaned them up. And of course, I was thinking the UAW, like Rocky was his name, the UAW leader, was going to be really excited about this because we were helping the team. He was not. He said, you get a girl in here, the first thing she does is paint the bathroom. Next thing you know, she's going to be hanging up curtains. But I will say that we, about a year later, signed the longest ever contract with the UAW, probably not because of the bathrooms. But I do think there's something to making sure people understand how important they are and how much you appreciate them. And you do that with the little things, not only the big things.
I love
I
that.
like that a lot.
And in the short time we've gotten to know you guys, you can tell that you always remember that it's not employees, it's not this, it's humans, and it's
Yes.
the people. And
When you get to the headquarters building, you got to see our bathrooms. Ever since Joyce took over, they have gone to a whole different level.
I'm
I'll
excited
go to a
see it.
slightly different place on that but I think it builds pretty well. So I saw the other day the CEO of Spotify had been giving advice to the CEO of Uber,
Okay.
and they were talking about their journey and how it worked. And basically his advice to him was, what he said was, optimize for impact. Like, there's all these things in life. There's all this stuff that you do and you work and you complete the task. But I think the most important is what does it mean?
Yes.
Hans was talking about curing cancer today.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what did it all mean anyway?
Right.
Because at the end, we spend a lot of our time doing what we do. What did it mean? True number, very true number. I have read the book Atlas Shrugged 11 times.
It's incredible.
11 times. And it's roughly an 1,100 page book.
It's insane.
So that's 12,100 pages for guys doing the multiplication column. And that in the Fountainhead, Ayn Rand's whole philosophy around objectivism was exactly that. Reality is real. Focus on that. Focus on what means something. I think back in my career, the biggest project I ever had when I was at Capgemini, I was with a company called Fairpoint. And it was basically to build a phone company from scratch. They had 3 people they put on the team. They had no systems. They had no business processes. We were getting 3 million customers from Verizon. And after 21 months, they had to be on something when the transition was over. And I had a team of about 900 people that worked 4.2 million hours over a
Wow.
2-year period.
Wow.
You could go in the Capgemini office at 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Office was full. We had like 3% of the people that quit during that time.
Wow.
Wow.
At the end, a year later, when we were just doing regular projects again, like half of them quit. Because it was about the difference they could make.
Right.
About the challenge, it's about the motivation. And I think the idea around being elite, it comes down to what you're achieving and what you're doing, much more than a lot of the things we generally credit with, being a good environment. It's just who you're going to be and what are you going to do.
Absolutely.
You need that purpose motive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a mission. Yeah.
Well, wasn't it, I think, when we set out to go to the moon, the analogy was that you could ask a janitor at NASA, what are you working on? He's like, we're going to the moon.
We're going to the moon.
Right?
That's a
Because
purpose.
that is a purpose.
So I've been lucky in my career to only work for great consulting firms with superior leaders. I've talked about a few of them on this podcast before. But I think what the most inspirational ones are, and Joyce, you had mentioned this, are the ones that can almost teach you the Mr. Miyagi trick.
Yeah.
Right? You're cleaning bathrooms. That's not really what they're trying to teach you there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And so how do you build elite talent? And I'll never forget, I had an executive coach. I'd gotten some 360 feedback from my team. It was almost all positive. Of course, I'm only focused in the areas that I needed to grow. And one of them was I was terrible at constructive criticism. And that's true. I'm just a rah-rah guy. I'm like a high.
Giving it or receiving it?
No, I'm fine taking it. Yeah, just giving it.
No,
just
giving it.
That's right.
And my coach asked me, he's like, why do you not like giving constructive criticism? And I said, well, at the end of the day, I really need to be liked. Like, I'm self-aware enough to know that. And so I'd rather be liked than make somebody kind of hurt and feel bad. And he goes, well, that's great. He goes, have you ever received constructive criticism from anybody you've looked up to? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And they're like, what did you think of that person after the fact? And I'm like, our relationship got tighter. He goes, so are you worried about being liked or being respected? And that changed my entire mindset in how I dealt with my teams, how I taught others, right? Anytime we're uncomfortable, we just actually had a executive training for some of our team a couple weeks back. And what I said is, if you're not good at something, just have a framework to get through it, right? There's things that we need to do to build elite talent. And if you're good, just lean into your instincts. If you're not, have a framework, then you can lean on it. So now I have a framework anytime I go into those conversations, and it's changed the way I approach my team and even my people, even these guys.
So not to bring it back, but you did not complain your way to the top.
I did not. complain
By
my
the
way.
way, there's a really good book on that, Radical Candor. Have you heard of this
Yes,
book?
big
I
fan
love
of
that
it.
book.
Big fan of it. Yeah.
Care deeply and challenge directly. I love that.
Sometimes this is why it's been a good partnership on our side, there are certain things that he doesn't like to do. There are certain things I don't like to do. So we make the other person do it.
And there's certain things neither of you like to do, and Kevin
Yeah,
has to do
Kevin
all that
runs
stuff.
it. Kevin gets stuck doing it all.
Which is fine. And I think it's one of the hardest things that we have to do. And I'd love to get your advice on this too. But building high performing teams does not mean that they need to be homogeneous, right? So you're usually getting people that have differing opinions and different personality types. And in order for them to be high performing, you need to get them to gel and to move forward. And that can be difficult, but the results tend to be better. So how have you seen that manifest itself in your career?
I mean, all the time. I think the diversity of thought, diversity of experience, diversity of perspectives, I mean, really, really important. I think, I feel like Dee and I are very complementary. I am much more fun than he is, and he is much better at math than I am. He is also a services expert, and I know a lot about products. So, I mean, I feel like those complementary skills are really what's required to deliver excellence.
Absolutely. And I think that's right. I mean, Joyce and I are literally complete opposites in terms of skill sets, experience, and everything else. But we talk all the time.
Yeah.
And nobody in the organization would ever think that.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very clear message. It's very, and you get a fine line when you take that out to bigger teams.
Yeah.
You want enough of that, but also enough of a dynamic that you can bring it back. It's a very fine line on how to do it.
I think you guys are lucky to have that, and I think we're lucky to have this. Anytime you're in an organization, I would actually give this advice to even folks just starting their career. Find somebody who's not exactly like you that you can, one, entrust in each other, and two, they will actually tell you things that you're not good at and compliment you with it. And that's how partnerships work as you grow up. Kevin's really good at numbers. I never want to talk about numbers. Every meeting we go to, Kevin will bring up numbers like, let's get through this now. But you cannot have an organization without both, right? It's the thing that we have that I think we're very lucky about in this way.
And he's more fun.
But you're really good at podcasting, apparently.
It's a podcast.
This is your thing. I'm really excited about the opportunity ahead. When we gave this presentation the other day, we went through this hype cycle of AI where, it went viral overnight, right? And now it's scaled back a bit, and we've seen the research from MIT of some of these things not being successful, something like 95% of the pilots. But I think that where we see it going, especially in this partnership moving forward, is I think if we are the ones leading the conversations with the clients to the point you said, where it's not just this myopic little thing we want to do, but how does it all fit together from hardware to software to everything else, for where the business is trying to go and the purpose they're trying to serve and how we tie everything back, I think we're going to have the greatest advantage out there. I really do.
This is what gets me really excited when we first met and we first started talking. I think you can look at something like that MIT study, and people that won't be elite and don't want to be successful will say there's a 95% failure rate, so it's hard and I'm going to quit. And all the people that I really enjoy working with and that are elite and work with us say, how do we make sure we're in that 5%?
Yeah.
Just
Let's
a
make that
simple
5%,
mindset.
20%.
20%. Exactly.
Well, I even think through, all emerging technologies start with this, right? Even if you look in the .com era, there was 5% of .com websites that were very successful. You know them. They're called Amazon. They're called Google. They're called, right?
Yeah. Still no.
Right?
Maybe less. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. No, I think this couldn't have come at a better time, because the way we look at it, we're excited about the, to your point, 5% turning into 20 to 30 to 40 to 50, and we get to shape that way, right?
That's right.
And I think unless we bring the disruptive thinking and all these things together, we're just another thing. And
I was just going to say that. I think your disruptive approach to consulting is really, really important. I would argue it's a bit of a broken industry right now.
It's beyond broken.
It's got to be pragmatic solutions that can be delivered fast, that deliver real results really fast, so you can earn the right to do more.
Absolutely. I think, we ran around in the beginning talking about change and disruption, the velocity going up. And we said most industries are broken, which they are, right? If you actually take a look at companies that don't reinvent, and we know a bunch of them, 60% fell off the S&P 500 list. If you don't keep challenging the status quo and change the way you approach your business, you won't make it. I don't care how big you are, right? None of us have Nokia cell phones anymore.
That's right. Nobody shops at a Sears.
Or Sears, right? And I think this is why this thing will be an absolute wonderful thing. I think I want to close on this. What are you most excited about in the next 6 to 12 months? Could be personally or professionally, as we think through both our partnership and what's happening in the world.
I'm going to bring it right back to what we've been talking about with being elite, in that our industry is changing so dramatically right now.
Agreed.
In the blip of time, the last 20 years of stuffing as many people as you can with labor arbitrage into clients to just kind of get them out there and going, that's not going to work anymore. Like we're at a world where it's going to be about impact. It's going to be about having an elite team. It's going to be able to solve the whole problem. We talk to our clients with the nature of, here's the problems we solved, the 11 billion in impact we talked about this morning. Here's the problems we solved, not the number of people who showed up for how long they showed up.
That's true.
And I think we've got a chance to do something that nobody's doing, and we don't have the overhead they all do. I don't know, if we had 800,000 people, or we had 400,000 people or something, we'd have a whole different set of things to worry about. Because then you go, well, what do they all do? Instead, we can take a very elite set of capabilities, you guys as the spearhead of that, and say, how do we go make an awesome impact, regardless of what labor, what went into it.
Yeah. Thank you.
And, I just saw this stat that something like 92% of the growth in global GDP in the first half of the year was driven by the CapEx spend to support AI.
Wow. Wow.
That's an incredible number, right? And so that means, if you think about that, that just means all of this capacity has to go to some good use. And if we can be the fastest to deliver pragmatic solutions to the thousands of customers we already have, then we have an incredible opportunity to create real value for them, real value for our teammates, and real value for our shareholders.
I love that.
Absolutely love it. I will. We did a project. This was year 2, where we helped an organization reduce their costs of pharmacy by over $1 billion, and this was pre-AI, right? Meaning there was automation involved, but it was interesting to look back then on how we went with this to market. We didn't go say, "Hey, we're going to give you this technology and it's going to help you." What we said is, as we work with them, they go, "Our costs of medicine is going up, and we want to help reduce it for our members. Can you help us?" And then we back into the technologies available, and that list has now just evolved, right? We look at it honestly in a lot of ways like a commodity. It's what you do with it that actually makes it special, and what is the purpose on the other side of us. So you know what I'm excited for? I'm excited to find new purposes for a brand new list of customers that will ultimately, hopefully, make a lot of people's lives better down the road.
We are living through the greatest unlock in productivity in human history. And what has me most excited, and I think it is possible in the next 6 to 12 months, is the impact that could be created by that. And I don't just mean financial, and I know people are fearful, but I really do look at, like you mentioned, curing cancer or curing some other disease or figuring out kind of world hunger or weather patterns. Like, there is so much opportunity to improve people's livelihoods with this technology. And Joyce, as you said, if we can be at the forefront of that, what a wonderful story to say we're a big part of that, right? So
I'll close at least on my thought of when we started Inspire 11, our mission was to create new dimensions of value to positively impact our people, our clients, and our community. And I think with this partnership coming together, our ability to do that is just going to be exponential.
And we want to see, my second thing is I want to see Kevin's podcast career just take off.
Absolutely. We'll have to call his booking people.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you both for being here on behalf of us. I want to thank you guys for seeing the value in us, and we're so grateful to have made this partnership happen. And I can't wait to come back to this podcast in 6 months or a year and bring up some of the real impactful things we've done as a group.
Exactly.
So
it's been a great conversation.
Yeah. Thank
So-
you very much for everything, and we are thrilled about this.
Thank you to everyone. Yeah, please like, subscribe, find our podcast on
That's
Apple,
Hans's line.
Spotify. That's right. We're still the #1 podcast in the Balkans until somebody proves me wrong.
We challenge you to find a
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
We'll
you
see
all.
episode
Take care.
soon.
Thank you.